Hi, and welcome to Hypothetically Intentional, where we ask the question, what if we set intentions with everything we do? I'm your host, Michelle Albers. Today, I have Jessica Ashforth-Patton from across the pond, another across the pond guest, and I have not connected with her in a very long time, and I'm ridiculously excited to catch up. Welcome, Jessica.
Hi, I'm
How are
so
you?
excited.
I am too.
Really well.
We always set an intention, and I forgot to ask you before we hit record. Do you want to set an intention today, or do you want me to?
I've just got authenticity.
Ah, beautiful. Lots of beautiful intention. Rock on. Let's go.
Yeah, I seem to be living by it at the minute, but like really digging deep with it because I think
Yeah.
we can think we're being authentic and we're not being authentic at all. And it can be quite a hard truth to look at, really.
Oh gosh. Well, right
Yeah.
before we hit record, you were like, I'm living my best life as a mom and I'm all in. And I was like, okay, let's talk about that. I want to talk about that because that's amazing. Tell me more.
Um, I just had a realization, I think, about a year ago, actually, that I'm trying to do all these different things and I'm trying to build this and I'm trying to do that and I'm running myself into the ground constantly. And why am I doing that? And I kept getting poorly. You might remember actually, kept getting poorly. I'm like, I need to slow down. And then I think I was slowing down. And I wasn't slowing down. And I get poorly again. And then I had this like realization of why is being a mum, being me in my council house with my dogs, doing my gardening, why is all that not enough?
Mm,
What am I not like what void am I trying to fill or what am I trying to run away from? But this clearly isn't working. So what's wrong with just doing what you're doing now? Right.
yeah.
So I'm like, right, well, now that I'm aware that that feels not enough, guess what I'm going to do? Exactly that till it's enough.
I love that. I love the awareness in what you're saying about that because I think so many people are like, that's not enough, and they keep trying to fill that space. They try to fill that void with something that will make them feel enough when the reality is what you just said. It's like, what if it's not about it not being enough? What if it's about you coming to the realization that there's no void to be filled and that sometimes space feels vulnerable?
Right.
And
Right.
a million
Yeah.
other layers. Like, I don't know what your layers are, but I think often space feels vulnerable.
Yeah, it does. But I'll tell you what's been really interesting on it that I absolutely love, right? How I'm spending my time now. So, like, me and my kids have never been sporty. And now I own season tickets to my local football/soccer team. And we like
That's
go out
amazing.
nearly every Saturday. And I love it. And like before, I'd look in and be like, why would you want to waste your time watching someone kick a football around? Like, all right, snob. Because like it's a distraction. Why are you doing that? You're not working on this. And why are you doing that? You're not posting content. And why are you doing that? You're not replying to comments or working towards your future, or it's like a waste of time. No, it's not. I really like football actually a lot. That's cool, right? I like it. And music, never really been a rock lover. I like music, never been a rock lover. Oh my God, vibing to Nickelback, love it. Do you know, like, oh, I'm into some real cool stuff actually. Do you know, I actually really like me and I do like this. And do you know what's also really nice is doing, can you hear that rain? Is that all right?
Uh-uh. Nope, I can't hear it.
We're in Britain, of course it's raining. So, oh, where am I going with that now? Oh, doing things that's just for fun,
Yeah,
just because I like it.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And you like tapped into something that you didn't think you thought was fun and then tried it and was like, hey, this is actually really fun. But you told
Yeah.
yourself it wasn't fun before, even when you hadn't really experienced it.
I've
That's,
not even tried it.
yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
And now the kids play football. So they train 2 times a week each. So I'm at their training 4 times a week now. They're really liking it. Like I said, I'm into it. And it's just nice to explore different. And I'm 30. So in my head, I know what I like and that's what I like. And I was willing to try new things in other areas. But yeah, when it came to fun, that felt like a waste of time.
Mm.
Now, no, it's not a waste of time. I even, listen to this, Michelle, went out round town, so people like drinking and stuff, and For those that obviously don't know, who's listening to this, that don't know who I am, I used to drink a lot. I don't drink anymore. Makes me quite uncomfortable, and it's just an environment I've stayed out of. I went out with work for like the Christmas do, had a great time, didn't rock up till 3 o'clock in the morning, stone cold sober, loved it. And that's an experience that I'd not have had because no, it's not for me that. Not tried it sober. How would you know? Well,
Oh,
actually, it is
wow.
for me. I had a really good time.
That's
And
amazing.
I got to make friends and like have conversations with people, do you know, like, and just socialize and just be a human, really, as opposed to this robot that's doing all these things for a future that's like never going to come.
This might sound like such a weird way to say it, but I feel like you've depressurized yourself. Like you took all the pressure off yourself and you can just, I just hear freedom. Like you just feel, you just seem so light. And I feel like we've had so many conversations and we always go deep when we talk, whether we're light, bright, or dim and, heavy. It doesn't matter. Like we tend to go there. But I just love hearing you just describe everything you're describing is like you depressurized all that, all those expectations you were putting on yourself, all of that stuff that you were quote unquote trying to do to be enough. And here you are going, whoa, I can have a beautiful life that gives me everything I want, which is my biggest priority, mom. That's what I heard from you.
Mhm.
Good and being time with your boys, with your kids, and dropping into that and understanding and realizing all that other stuff wasn't for you, at least not now.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Do you know? And I love being a parent. I've always liked being a parent. But it with this all being a mum, it's not enough. I'm a really ambitious person. I like making progress. I like setting challenges and smashing the challenges and overcoming things and learning new things and doing all these different things, right? So being a mum prior to this like realization felt restrictive. Like I couldn't do all the things I wanted to do because I'm a mum. But I don't really know I do know what the shift is. So when people say, right, define what success means to you, yeah?
Hmm.
In my head, I always equated that to money. And actually, do you know what success means to me? A happy and healthy family home. And like,
Yeah.
so I can look back in 10 years' time, and because I ran like a hamster on a wheel for years, I've got this, I don't know, £1 million business. Great. But I weren't there for my kids. Take your money. Not interested. If I've crashed my mental health, take it. I'm not interested. I've took my own physical health, take it. I'm not interested. Right. Well, who's doing that then? Like success is kissing my kids good morning and kissing them good night and taking them to football and watching what they're doing. Because I'm not looking at my comments on a TikTok video or whatever because I've got to respond to whatever it is I'm doing. Or taking them peacefully and calmly because I don't feel like I'm chasing my tail every minute of every day. Another big part of that's been coming off social media actually as well.
Mm.
Because that I didn't realise how much that will like sucking the life out of me. But yeah, being a mum, being with my dogs, in my home, filling up my bird feeders. I'm growing carrots. I'm getting into gardening and I've got pepper plants growing, like they're sprouting up. I've got my first greenhouse. Don't like the little things or the big things,
Oh
actually.
gosh, yes. Yes. I feel like you're not chasing anymore. You're
Mm.
not chasing something that you thought was supposed to be. Instead, you're really present. I love, and part of this is because I know your story, and I might ask you to drop in a little bit with your story because I love that you redefine success. Like you actually got accurate in what success means to you, and that it's a happy, healthy home, which knowing some of your story, I know I don't know all of your story, but I know enough of your story to know how incredibly impactful that is. And of course, that would be your definition of success. I think the world tells us that money is success
Mm-hmm.
stereotypically. And I think for you to have the realization that that is not what it is about. Like, sure, you need a foundation, you need stability, you need resources so that you can show up in a healthy, happy home. But will you tell us a little bit about your whatever parts you want to share?
Um, you might have to give me some bit of something to give you.
I mean, a healthy, happy home is something that you realize is your version of success. It is success. It's not even a version of it. It is your biggest goal. It is what matters most to you. And from what I know of your story, you didn't really have that.
Yeah, no. So growing up, it was quite an abusive, neglectful household. A lot of the realization I've been having recently around that, though, is that my dad left. So he's out the picture. He's not even really part of it, other than it's a big part of it. He left.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my mum, her emotions were all over the place. Do you know, like, but as a mum myself now, a working mum with two kids, which is real funny because she had two daughters, I've got two sons, so it's pretty similar. And you know, my dad went around, my kid's dad's not around. It's a really similar situation. I can understand the pressure that she were under, and just the finances, emotional, like resentment to my dad. Maybe there's a bit of resentment towards me. Do you know, like you just don't, all of it. I can see why she might have done what she did because she weren't a bad person,
Yeah.
right? She just struggled, and I got the
Mhm.
brunt end of it. So that anyway, I don't want that. I will not be that. And really, going through what I went through, I could see how what she did affected me. So that enables me to sort of take a different view of what I do affects them. So if I don't want to do that, how else can I do it? And if I didn't like being spoken to like this, how can I speak to them? And rather than me deciding how I want to speak to them, boys, how can I handle this better? Right, I
Yeah.
can see that I've said that and it's upset you. It's made you feel this way. Is that right? Yep. So what is it about that I need to change? And create this like an actual relationship as opposed to I know best because I'm an adult.
I think that is such a beautiful view of parenthood. Because I think so many parents think they're supposed to know everything and their kids are supposed to think they know everything and they're not supposed to ask their kids questions about what they need or how you might do better because that implies that you're messy or that you don't know it all. And I think what you just said is so beautiful because I think to ask your kids how you can do better is one of the most uh it gives you more wisdom than you can possibly gain any other way because you're including them and actually going straight to the source and
Yeah.
finding out what they need. And they might not know, but to open the door to that conversation, oh, girl, it's so beautiful.
Well, this is it because they might not know, but I don't know. And guess what? Neither of us knowing isn't helping. So can we talk
Yeah.
it out? Can we try this and try that? And like, for example, sometimes I don't know, we'll be going to the park. My eldest doesn't want to go to the park, so we'll get lip on, right? And he'll sit cross-armed and like angry. And I have to take that as in being really ungrateful because I'm working, I'm providing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I clean the house, trying to do something fun for you and look at face on you, right? So
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I can feel it though inside of me. And it's like, Joe, what, son? Sometimes it will come out because I am messy and I don't know it all. And it might be, I'm trying my best. I don't know what you want from me. And when I actually spoke to him, it's not that he's ungrateful, it's grateful we're doing something. It just so happens to not be what he wants to do. Guess what? If I have to do something I don't want to do, guess who else has got lip on?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
So now I know that that's not it. And I can remain calm and be like, right, son, how are we feeling about it? And not take it as personal. Just understand that it's his feelings. That's where he's at. So we can have a chat. And yeah, it's just nice. And I will say, like regularly, what can we do better on?
That's so
That
good.
would go.
I think checking in is so important because I also here's the other thing I think it does, and I think kids, it's a skill that kids are learning. I think it requires them to reflect inward and to ask
Mm-hmm.
themselves or even consider what they might want or need. And I think they don't think about that unless it's modeled to them. They don't go there unless there's an invitation to go there. And so like those skills, I don't know. I'm a former preschool teacher and I love this stuff because I think sometimes we forget that our kids are human. And we forget
Yeah.
that they're not fully developed. And we forget that like modeling behavior is huge.
That's massive. That's something I have to like remind myself of for Joe, especially with like just little skills with the kids, or like tying the shoelaces or whatever, and they'll forget. And I have to remember, Jess, the brains aren't developed, babe. So when you're saying do this, and they're like, I don't understand. I
Yeah.
had it earlier taking my son's football boots off, and I'm like, right, do you see how that lace is going through there? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you need to pull it apart. He's like, how? And that I can understand as an overwhelmed parent can be like, what do you mean? Whatever. But I'm like,
Yeah.
right, see how that one over the top? We just pull that. And he's like that. I'm like, yeah. And I'm just showing him simple little things that in an adult's head, you're 9, you should already know this. You should already know this. Well, they don't. And even if they do, they can forget. Like the brains, they haven't got the thinking skills we've got. And that's really important to remember, I think.
Yeah, and I think as parents, so many times we see our kids' behavior as defiant. And it's
Yeah,
not defiant. It's literally unknown. They literally don't understand or don't compute or don't know how or have never done it or are scared or have had a really emotional day and don't know how to process those emotions. So they're dropping in a way that's different. And we see it as defiant. And our kids are literally just showing up in the moment, authentic to how they're feeling in the now. And it's not personal. And we take it so personal so often. I love everything you're saying because I think that's to see your kids through the lens of like neutrality and inquiry and creativity invites them to explore who they are too. I don't know. I mean, I
yeah,
was messy. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. Like I got as an adult, and I'm
right.
not saying my parents did anything wrong. I'm just saying like I didn't know how to do some of the things that I've learned over time now. And I just think, I don't know, it's interesting.
Well, this is it. And I have this conversation more so with my oldest than I do my youngest. But I'll be like, son, you've never been 10 before. And I have never parented a 10-year-old before. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm doing as much as you don't know what you're doing, mate. So we're in it together. Do you know?
Yeah.
And that you see him like bring his guard down a little bit. Or like if we've had, I mean, to be fair, Michelle, we haven't had like a disagreement or whatever in a really long time. Like
That's amazing.
it don't really happen. But when we
Yeah.
used to, I could sit
Yeah.
down and be like, right, son, I really didn't like how I spoke to you then. Or when you said this, it made me feel this way. Is that what that is? No, yeah, whatever. And just, do you know what? As much as they haven't got the thinking skills that we've got or the rationale, etc., we also don't give them enough credit for the skills that they have got.
Oh, 100%. Yes. 100%.
So it's like a push and pull, like, right, I don't know, dip your toe in, find out. I like what you said about that curiosity, inquisitiveness about them. Yeah.
Yeah. I think with kids, inquisitiveness, creativity, and invitation. It's not a demand. It's not a dictation. It's an invitation to explore. And it's like, I don't know. And you can make anything a game too. Like if they're having a day, like I just think about back to the preschool classroom. It's like I could make cleanup fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one actually wants to clean up, but if you make it fun, you know? And I think that's it. It's like it's just taking off the pressure. It's like you have to clean up this way or else. Or, hey, let's find all the blue toys and see where we might want to put those, you know?
I
Or,
like
oh,
that.
do you think there's an orange toy in the room? I feel like we should look for it. I feel like there's one in here somewhere. Let's find it, and make it a scavenger hunt. It's just like
I like
totally
that.
different. It's a totally different perspective and it makes it more fun and playful and an invitation versus a demand. Hey, you clean up this room.
I think another side of it as well is that on the topic, it's intentional. So if I'm going in with a right, this is my objective. So I want all the toys picking up, or I want to have this conversation, or whatever. Then I know what I'm doing with that. So then now I know I can stick the course because if that starts veering off this way, now I'm not getting what I want. How can I bring it back whilst leading them to the same sort of way you want them to go? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
intentional for sure. Like, and intention versus manipulation, because I didn't hear manipulation in that. Like, they're two different things. It's
yeah.
just like invitation and exploration versus demand and dictator. You know what I mean? They're different things.
Yeah, so like for example, I don't know if so my youngest is really emotional and he might get upset over something. So um I don't know, say I'm going to see my sister tomorrow at 12 o'clock and we're setting off at 5 to. He will get upset about the fact that there's 5 minutes difference in that. And if I'm like, get over it, there's 5 minutes, get in car. That's I don't want it going that way. Or like trying to if you get in this car, I'll give you a chocolate bar. No, but I would like you to get in the car, but I'd also like to understand why you're upset. And also, not only that, not even necessarily that, actually. I want you to know that I'm here for you, even though you're upset. And even though you're upset, this is still the outcome that we're going towards. So, what do I have to do to get to that point as opposed to get in the car? I've said we're
Yeah.
going. Do you know?
Yeah. That's so
Yeah, I have.
beautiful.
It's my relationship with the kids, with the dogs, with myself, with life in general. I do just feel like
Yeah. It's so
I,
good.
I won't lie, and I don't want this to come across like, oh, it's all great. that's it. I've put my tools down and I'm releasing pressure and I'm all good now. No, I've still got this slight niggle that's like, yeah, but you do want a bit more though, don't you? Like, yeah, but you're not actually doing anything towards that goal, though, are you? And I have to go, but this is the goal. And I sort of still have to have like the conversation with myself and like, I'm sort of bargaining with myself, like 5 years' time, the kids are going to be like 15 and 16. They're not going to be too bothered about me. I don't know what it's like over there, but 15, 16 UK side, they're sort of doing their own thing. They're not interested. Um, that's that. And the dogs, they're nearly 12. They're probably also not going to be around. Like, you can look at all this stuff again then,
Yeah.
Jess. So then there's right, so your life's on hold for the next like 5 years, but also it's not because I'm gardening and we're going on holiday. And do you know, there's all these other different things and all these different experiences I'm having. I feel like I had this conversation yesterday. I feel like I've lived about 4 different lifetimes in my 30 years, and this is one of those
Oh.
other lifetimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I like it. It's fun.
Well, and so when you described like I'm not gonna lie, I still want something more. Like I think if we don't have the tickle of a goal or the tickle of a dream, I think that's stagnancy and our soul dies a little when we're there. So I think having that tickle of like looking forward and knowing like it will evolve and that there can be something different at a later time and even thinking about what that might look like, I think that's a beautiful way to motivate and a beautiful way to dream and to inspire and all that stuff. Because I think if we just get settled in and like, I don't know, complacent in our day to day, I think a piece of us, I don't know, for me, like my soul dies when I do that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So I love
Yeah.
that
No.
there's ambition there. And it doesn't feel like there's no disgust of like what's happening now. It's just that, well, I still know that I want more. I still know that there will be something else. I still know that this will evolve and transform. I don't have an expectation for it to stay the same. I have the tickle of a dream
Yeah.
and it's beautiful.
And also, I don't expect it to go back to what it was either. So,
Oh,
like before, I
beautiful.
was trying to build something in like the mental health space. And
Hmm.
I'll tell you something I'm really liking about coming off social media. My life is for me. Because before, I'd like be journaling or reading or doing whatever, and I'd have an insight. And I like to talk, I like to share, I like to inspire, I like to motivate, I like to help people. I do. So I'd post it. Nope, it's mine.
Ah,
It's
that's
for me.
beautiful.
I'm keeping that. And part of me feels a little bit selfish because the world's got a lot of suffering going on. And like, it could really help some people though. Yeah, but do you know what? I've lived my life for 29 years for everybody else.
Oh, girl, you're
Yeah.
speaking my soul language. Here's the thing though. You say selfish. I think it's sacred. I think holding things
Yeah.
sacred to ourselves is important. And I think so few of us do because we have expectations that we're supposed to, whatever.
Yes.
And that's not for us.
Yes. You've just put that beautifully. It's sacred. I like that. I'm going to take that. But also that expectation, exactly that, like, I'm so, what is it? Living a servant life.
Yeah.
Let's do all these things. No, I don't want to. I'm not. It's
Well,
mine.
exactly. And here's the thing. I believe that having conversations one to one with people, and we're doing this on a podcast, so this is going out. So you are in service right now, whether and you chose to share it. And I'm grateful for that. Do you know what I mean? But I think one to one conversations can have a bigger, more profound impact because we have a relationship, because we have a connection, because we've built trust. You know what happens when you have a conversation with someone that you trust? You go way fucking deeper than you ever have gone before because there's a mutual energetic trust that allows you to go to the depths of your souls, which creates way more impact, way more movement, and way more I don't know. It shifts things in a way that cannot.
Authenticity. Actual authenticity.
Yes. And I think we can tell ourselves what we want on social media. And I mean, I need to, and I say that not from a should to, but like I need to be out there more in social media. Well, maybe it's not even social media. I just need to like, if I'm gonna be doing the work that I'm doing, I need to be
Uh-huh.
seen. and for me
Yeah.
to be seen. But here's the thing that about social media that I hate, and I think hate is a strong word, but I think it's also accurate. I hate that I feel like I'm trying to tuck into some sort of a box to pull something toward me when I don't want to pull anything toward me or push anything away. I just want to be, and then it feels like, and I know this is like all the marketers out there are going, Michelle, that's ridiculous, but I'm just being honest. I feel like if I can just be, and because I'm different, everybody's different, we're all unique. And I just think some of the shit that's out there is such bullshit, and I'm not interested. But I'm
Yeah.
also not interested in tucking into a box or putting myself out there to the point where, like, some of my things are sacred. And you get to know about those sacred things if you choose to join me on my journey and in the community that I offer. But outside of that, like, it's not for everyone. When I say it's not for everyone, I literally mean because I'm not going to share it with you because you're not, I don't know, my word that comes in immediately is safe, but that's my own trauma. You're not safe. So I'm not
Relatable.
interested.
Relatable. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if I don't know. I agreed with everything. I ain't got else to add on that, really. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever end up back on social media. I just really like it. I like the quiet. I
Yeah, I
like
hear
to,
you.
and also, side note, can we acknowledge how weird it is, really, to sit and watch random people on the internet? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Because like this were a big thing to me, right? That because I'm not talking using social media as in like you're posting the content or doing whatever, or like actually speaking to family and people that you actually know and like that type of thing. I'm talking when you're in the middle of a doom scroll, no matter what platform you're on, and you're watching someone make a frigging cake, and then you're watching someone try on a wedding dress, and then it's someone building a pool, and then what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to a point where like, I felt like I was drowning, like I couldn't breathe. I had no time for anything. I'm trying to be a mom and I'm trying to be a dog owner and a cleaner and this and that and and it was like I don't know. I just felt like everything was back to back to back. Walking the dogs, going to swimming, doing this, doing that, and it was like, and I weren't even doing anything extra. Well, I was
Mhm.
actually really, but I wasn't in terms of like what my parental responsibilities are. There was no extra to that, but there was no room for anything else. And I'm like, so what are you going to do about it? And then I realised, well, when you're coming in from work at, let's say, 3 o'clock and the kids' swimming's at 5 o'clock and you're on Facebook until 4:30, and we
Yeah.
all know how time flies when you're doom scrolling,
Yeah.
that's an hour and a half you just had.
That's it.
That's another hour there. That's another 15 minutes there when you're cooking tea, but you're scrolling, you're not really paying attention because you're cooking tea. And then, oh my God, now I've got to wash the pots and now I've got to do baths and now I've got to do this, now I've got to do that. And since I've like pulled all that back, I'm like, what were you even doing on there anyway?
Yeah. I think you're connecting dots for me that I hadn't even considered. And that is on some level, me being on social media a lot is hypocritical because I don't believe that's a healthy place to live. I think we can find great resources there if we
Yeah,
go in intentional
definitely.
and seeking out what we need. But I think most of us doom scroll or just mindlessly scroll or numb scroll. And I think it's hard. So part of me is like, yeah, if I put all of my content on social media, which I don't, but if I were to spend more time on social media, there's part of that that's hypocritical because I don't think it's the healthiest way to engage. But I do understand the dance of like, how are people going to find you or know what you're
Yeah,
about if you don't throw some
100%.
golden nuggets out there? Like I do get
Yeah,
that. I'm finding I'm enjoying YouTube way more. Um, yeah, the social media thing is just really interesting. And you know what's funny too is like I find when I'm in wounds, all it does is trigger me because it's
yeah,
kind of one thing after another where I'm like, fuck, there's that again. And oh shit, there's another thing. And oh crap, I was distancing myself from that person. And there they are in my face. And it's like, and so on
yeah.
some
You go
level,
through like
yeah,
you go through so many different emotions, and I think,
yeah,
why? What are you
yeah,
doing? And I'm not saying I won't ever be on social media again, and I 100% understand the value of putting yourself out there. And not only that, if we know social media is full of like things that are triggering us or comparison stuff or whatever, then really, I do feel like because my videos and everything are still up. I haven't deleted any of my accounts. I've just deleted the apps off my thing. That shit is going to be posted regardless.
sure.
Drop your good stuff in there. Like you're
Yeah,
making a
yeah,
difference.
a
Don't
hundred
think
percent.
I get that. Navigating all of it. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know. I'm just coming off. I
Yeah.
don't want to
Well,
fit in it. I don't know. I'm done.
and I think for me, I use it really intentionally too. So like when I do get triggered, when I do have a, it's like, oh, there's work to do there. Thank you for showing me that. I mean, I really do. I take that as like a nugget of, okay, there's some wisdom in that that tells me I have something that I get to look at and heal. That I thought was done, but it revisits, it resurfaces, and it's like, oh, okay, I see you're still there. What is that about? Let's explore. But that took some doing and some experience and some like living and some really big intentions to understand what this actually is for me and how I can use it in a really positive way versus a way that just helps me avoid my bullshit.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing. So for me, something would trigger me, and I'd be like, oh, I need to take a note of that. However, I'm 6 videos on, and I forgot what that thing is. But
Yeah.
also, once I'm 6 videos on, or I don't know, the next day, something reminds me of the video that I saw yesterday, and now I'm arguing with myself because that wasn't something I was thinking about. And don't forget this need for perfection. I'm not good enough. I need to do more. I need to be good enough. So now we're adding that into the mix, and that's another thing I need to work on. Yeah, but actually, there's this side of it and there's that side of it. And if you thought about this perspective, and oh yeah, no, I'm all right. And oh my God, is that tiring?
Yeah.
How about I
And
just live life because I like to live life? How about I
yeah.
think this thought that you might call selfish and you might say is selfless and you disagree and you agree. And how about I just have the thought, there's a dove on my fence. Sorry, side note. How about I just have the
It was like
squirrel?
social media in real time in your backyard.
We're not going to talk about the doves, Jess. So, how about I just have a thought? Because I like the thought. You may have noticed, Michelle, I've dyed my hair.
I love it.
Why? My point to that is because I like it. That
Yeah.
was a that were like a shit to me. So, for reference, everyone knows, or a lot of people know that like blonde blindness is real. Yeah, and you will have bleach blonde hair, and it's not blonde enough, and you get really attached to this blonde hair. And I had bleach blonde hair for 10 years. Well, I'm naturally copper. So as I'm thinking about dyeing it back copper, because I'm not on social media and I'm not doing all these different things and I'm not distracted, I realized like, oh, what will people think? What am I going to look like? I became aware of the image that I've created of myself with blonde hair, tattoos, whatever. And now I'm going to shift that up. And what if that changes how I'm perceived or blah, blah. And I was like, whoa, just dye your hair. Like, it's not that deep. But so I got
Yeah.
to see like this identity that I'd created, if that makes sense.
It does.
Um, so yeah, I've got myself off track now, but I've dyed my hair and like that's because that's for me,
Yeah.
not what Brendo watching my videos is going to think or whatever. Just something different I want to do for me because it's my thoughts and what I like.
Yeah.
Not because there's 5 Instagram women that I follow that I think are really gorgeous and they're beautiful. And do you know what? I won't mind a bit of blonde hair. And do you know what? I might buy that crop top because she had that crop top on and that looked really nice. And actually, I really like that style of them trainers with them jeans. So I'm like, no, I'm Adam
Yeah.
Sandler in it because I like to look like Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
What about, you know, like,
I
do you
love
know
that
what
so
I'm
much.
saying?
I do. Yeah, that's amazing. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. So I keep journaling and things in the morning and I keep ending it with, do you know what? It's real nice to meet you. But I've
Uh,
actually really liked myself.
Girl, rock on, sister. I remember getting to the place where I could say that statement and believe it. And I'm like, I like who I am. I'm good with how I show up. You know why? Because I'm not hiding anymore. Because I'm not trying to tuck in anymore. Because I'm not comparing everything. I'm not saying I never compare. I 100% fall into that
Yeah,
trap.
of course.
Everyone does. If you say you don't, I say bullshit. You're not being
Yeah.
authentic. You know what I mean? Like, but I just like I'm good with who I am. I love my heart. I love my soul. I'm happy with how I show up. And when I'm not, I change it. I look at it. I evolve. I choose to see it. And I'm open to being called out on it. And I think because I'm open to being called out on it, I welcome that and it gets attracted to me. And people are not afraid to call me out on my bullshit. And I love that. I'm so grateful when people are brave enough to do it. But also, like, I really do like me. I'm good with who I am. But you know what? That took decades. I'm talking decades of healing for me, which is why I'm so passionate about making it accessible for others so that they don't take decades to get to a place where they actually can say they like themselves, even love themselves, and are okay with being quote unquote selfish and believe that they have a purpose in this world and that their uniqueness is what makes them amazing.
Yeah. You know, so many things there. That it's that belief thing for me. I used to say I'm the most confident, insecure person you'll ever meet. But that confidence is actually getting to be like real.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can tell. Not. Of course, I like who I am. No, I like who I am. But not only do I like who I am, it means you cannot like me, and I still like me.
Exactly. Oh, it's so good.
You could not like me, and I can still not like your opinion of me, and still be solid in me
Yeah.
without. But what about? And I'm not saying it never happens. Again, like you're fucking lying. If you're saying you've ticked all these boxes, you are a liar. Still happen, but I'm more solid in me while I'm having this thought. I can like be take like a third person view of it rather than being it.
Yeah, I call it higher self. Like my higher self can
Yeah,
observe it and my messy me can be in it. And my higher self still knows without a doubt that we're good. We're good.
yeah, legitimately.
Yeah,
Sweet.
it's amazing. This feels like a great place to wrap up. How do you feel?
Brilliant. Beautiful.
Do you have any nuggets that you want to share before we wrap up? Like any golden gems that you feel were left unsaid or maybe something that you want to
It's
highlight?
going to sound so frigging cliche, but really get to know yourself. I know that sounds really cliche and really like boring and blah, blah, but I mean, like, genuinely, do you know if you've got a belief about yourself, just question it. Question it, try something different. I think, again, this identity thing, whether it's your hair or your job or your part, or not necessarily your partner, but do you know, like this, this idea you've built of yourself in your image or whatever, just question it. Fuck around and find out. I'm not saying quit
Oh
your
my
job, like
God.
not saying that, but think about maybe what else would you like to do? And is there something, whatever. Well, take a step back. It's not that fucking deep. It's just an air colour. It's just a moment in time. It's just, I said, I feel like I've lived like 4 different lifetimes and I'm 30. What's the fifth?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you I'm 55 and I've lived at least four.
What's the fifth? What's the sixth? And you
Yeah.
know what? Won't you have some cool stories when you do make it to your deathbed?
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out. Really get to know you. Because again, I was never a sports person. No, I don't like sports. You want to see me in them stands. You want, yes! I'm proper into it. Absolutely. Get off him! Do you know what? I love it, honestly. Different aspect, because I fucked around and found out and thought, actually, stop being so fucking uptight and have a go. Do you know?
Yeah. And I think you just named this episode. I think it's FAFO. I think it's fuck around and find out. We're FAFOing this episode for sure.
Like it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, girl. I think that's a wrap for today.
Oh,
Bye, be
thank
you every
you.
day.